So I've been seeing all the conversation online about what Shaboozy said during his Grammy speech. And I wanted to provide my 2 cents as a child of West African immigrants like Shaboozy. Now, I will preface this by saying I don't watch the Grammys, but I saw clips online, and I also don't know much about Shaboozy outside of that one whiskey song and what I read on his Wikipedia page. So many of my Black American comrades have already said all the important things that needed to be said about why Shaboozy's statement that America was built by immigrants is actually the erasure of Black Americans who were forced to come here and whose labor actually built this nation. But I want to bring an additional element to this conversation as a child of West African immigrants. What I see a lot with the children of West African immigrants is that so many of us think that we are somehow different from Black Americans and that distancing ourselves from Black Americans somehow makes us better than them. We often regurgitate these harmful and problematic stereotypes that Black Americans are lazy or Black Americans have no culture, while we try to separate ourselves from a certain type of Blackness. Like, I'm Black, but not that type of Black, right? So for many of them, they have fooled themselves into believing that having proximity to whiteness will somehow save them. And we think that assimilating and dressing really well and singing well and talking well will somehow save us. I read that Shaboozy's stage name spelling came from the fact that people kept mispronouncing his actual name, which I find to be really interesting. And again, I will say that I don't know much about Shaboozy, but the propagating of this narrative that immigrants built this country neglects the contributions made by Black Americans, specifically during the Civil Rights Movement, which actually led to the passing of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which led to a huge wave of immigrants from Latin America, from Asia, and from Africa, and is the reason that people like me and like Shaboozy are even here. We have to understand that no proximity to whiteness will ever save us. And the sooner we divest from this fallacy and recognize that we all have the same common enemy and should be working together to dismantle these systems that harm all of us, the better off we will all be.